Today is going to be a great day. I am Nikki G, your host. Welcome to the Lone Doctrine, the food for thought exploration station, and your place in making today better than yesterday. We keep it short, simple, actionable, and practical. Every month we pick a topic, and this month we've handed it over to you. We asked our listeners, how can we help? The overall feel was wanting to explore self-care techniques. So last time we started getting into physical care, sleeping patterns, and today we'd like to expand even more and discuss dietary food for thought and diving a bit deeper into the root of what might be causing you from making changes for the better. What we like to call the why. So when it comes to your physical self-care, what about your diet? Now, I'm no health consultant, but I do know there's great benefit in eating healthy. As I struggled through many of my health challenges, changing my diet was the biggest factor that resulted with the biggest changes for the better. So much of our food, especially here in the United States, is so overprocessed that our poor bodies are working overtime all the time. Your food choices each day affect your health, how you feel today, tomorrow, and in the future. Good nutrition is an important part of leading a healthy lifestyle. Combined with physical activity, your diet can help you reach and maintain a healthy weight, reduce your risk of chronic disease, and promote your overall health. Let me tell you a little bit about something I found over the years of studying health. Unhealthy eating habits have contributed to the obesity epidemic in the United States. About 1/3 of U.S. adults are obese, and approximately 17% of children and adolescents ages usually 2 to 19 years are also obese. Even for people at a healthy weight, a poor diet is associated with major health risks that can cause illness and sometimes even death. These include heart disease, hypertension, diabetes, osteoporosis, and even certain types of cancer. By making smart food choices, you can help protect yourself from these health problems. The risk factors for adult chronic diseases like hypertension and diabetes are increasingly seen in younger ages, often as a result of unhealthy eating habits and increased weight gain. Dietary habits established in childhood often carry into adulthood. So teaching children how to eat healthy at a young age will help them stay healthy throughout their entire life. The link between good nutrition and healthy weight reduces chronic disease risks, and overall health is too important to ignore. By taking steps to eat healthy, steps, you will be on your way to getting the nutrients your body needs to stay healthy, stay active, and stay strong. As with physical activity, making those small changes, those steps in your diet can go a long way, and it's easier than you think. I could list all the studies, all the stats, all day long, probably every day, but the fact of the matter is, just as we have individual mental needs, we also have individual dietary needs. Something that might be healthy might not be right for you. For example, kale is a very healthy greens, but if I eat it, I get so sick. How's that? I don't know. It just happens, and so therefore I stay away. The best thing I did was find a holistic health consultant or a nutritional coach to help me find what worked best for me. I was lacking the knowledge and didn't know where to start. And sometimes the best thing you can do for your physical well-being is find someone who can guide you towards finding the answers. If you don't have that available to you, you can also start how I did by just trial and error. Most of the time, we know what isn't good for us and what makes us feel sick and even just blah. You might be thinking, I have no idea where to start. Start today with the next meal, just by making Small, better choices. Eating clean is what I always say. Trying to incorporate more of the good food that grows straight from the ground. Our small changes create big impact. And also continue to educate yourself. We could explore forever here, but the more you know, the more motivated you become to make the necessary changes. Even though, when I was young, all I wanted to do was feel better, I didn't have the knowledge or anyone around me to know that a lot of what I was eating was causing some of the issues. It wasn't until I just started to notice what my body was telling me and then doing my best to educate myself and then start making real and significant changes for the better. Which brings us to preventative habits. I cannot tell you how many times I've said this to my loved ones. Prevent, prevent, prevent. Over and over. I even text and check in with them every single day to make sure they're staying on top of their body and mind regimens. I'm sure I totally annoy them at times, but it's all about the love. But so many generations were raised to not do much until something went wrong. Again, they didn't have the know-how and the education behind maybe all that oil, fat, and fried food you ate caused your heart attack. Or maybe the lack of exercise has led you to feeling sluggish and depressed. My elders, I love them all, are this way, and I had to be the generation to break the cycle. If you relate, you too can break the cycle. So much of what we do today will determine our tomorrow, especially when it comes to our health. A hangover is an obvious example. You drink too much, your body tells you in the worst of ways. When you eat an entire container of cookies, although delicious, you might feel like poop afterwards. So how do we take these preventative steps, not just for the simple things, but more importantly for our overall mind and body's well-being? First, we start with making small choices. At the end of the day, it's our choices that lead us to our results most of the time, and our choices come from our mindset. Did you know that, according to the National Science Foundation, an average person has about 12,000 to 60,000 thoughts per day? Of those, 80% are negative and 90% are repetitive thoughts. Yikes. So if you think about it, new thought, if 80% of your thoughts are negative, your choices are being rooted from that negative space. I'm all about finding the root. So much of our reactions and interactions, when we aren't addressing the root, are just projections, and we manifest all kinds of unnecessary energy. Have you ever gotten into a fight over the silliest things like dishes? Although clean dishes are important, is it really the dishes, or is it the action of either yourself or your partner or roommate or spouse? If you address the root beyond the dishes, then you actually resolve the problem. So, I have a little seed of greatness to share with you. Remember, you only benefit from keeping an open mind and taking action. When it comes to preventative care, getting to the root is the first step. Here we go. When you're able and not driving or handling machinery, get out a piece of paper or even on your phone or your tablet. We're about to get down to it and make a list. Throughout the day, when you have a negative thought, or if you have a constant lingering negative thought, write them all down. Then, at the end of the day, dive a bit deeper. Write down the bigger aspects, like what are your biggest fears, your insecurities? Have you had any losses? What do you stress about on a regular basis? Then either on a different column or a different piece of paper, for every negative thought, write a positive one. For example, if you feel failure, write one instance when failure helped you learn a lesson. If you're insecure about your skills, write how much you've improved since you started. If you lost a relationship in the past, write about the beautiful time you spent with each other. If you stress about work, write how your work is serving other people. If you don't like your coworkers or your boyfriend, girlfriend, partner's behavior, write about one positive thing about that person. I found this method on medium.com and I tried it out for myself, and I've been applying it to my life almost daily because when I'm stressed or nervous, even just tired, the negative thoughts sometimes come flooding in. I've called this method flipping the script. When I get stuck on the negative, I flip the script and I make that small choice. I put myself in a better state. Here's a great quote by Gandhi. A man is but the product of his thoughts. What he thinks, he becomes. When it comes to preventative care, you owe it to yourself to start at the root and improve the quality of your thoughts. As we continue to explore self-care techniques and dive a little bit deeper into different things, I encourage you to keep an open mind and spend some time and incorporate some of the food for thought we discussed today. Rewind and listen to this episode later in the week and keep making your life the best life. Next time, we'll be exploring meditation. Now, you might already be practicing meditation, which is awesome, but you might be where I once was, wanted nothing to do with meditation. I can barely sit still, let alone get my mind to calm down. But as some of you know, my life this past few years has been through the worst life storms, and I came to a place where I needed to start living my own words, to try to keep an open mind and take action. You might be thinking, do you meditate? Yep, I do. And a lot of what I've learned along the way made me realize how wrong I was about the whole process. I'm not the Zen professional, but I'm walking the paces and feeling the difference in my day to day. So, tune in next week and we'll dive deeper into different ways you can explore meditation. If you found value in the Lone Doctrine, or if you believe in our mission, we would be so grateful for your support. We've partnered up with Patreon, a place where you as a supporter can become a patron in helping us stay on air and keep fighting the good fight. By becoming a Patreon, you make today better than yesterday. Visit patreon.com/Lone Doctrine, patreon.com/Lone Doctrine, or the link in the show notes. There's a great quote, "Be a fountain, not a drain," and we hope to be able to continue to be your fountain of food for thought. The exchange in your support not only results in good vibes, but anything and everything goes towards the betterment of our mission. Thank you so much for your consideration, and an extra thank you to our current Patreons, and we hope to see you over at patreon.com/Lone Doctrine. We hope in supporting us, we can continue to support you. We'd love to give a shout out to the real Mac Daddy, who wrote, "I find the material refreshing and energized with real life experience. With a central theme of self-care, there is good information to draw from here and worth the listen." Thank you, whoever you are, to the real Mac Daddy. And thank you for tuning in. And if you liked this episode and know of someone else that may also benefit from our food for thought, we'd love if you'd share this episode. It would mean the world to us if you could help get this message and our cause out to as many people as we can, because together we are better. Or if you have a few seconds, we'd love to hear your thoughts. You can leave us a review like the real Mac Daddy on Apple Podcasts, which in turns help us show up in the search engines so others in need can find us. I am forever grateful, and until next time, keep fighting the good fight.